Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another progress report. And for those of you who are just hearing that word for the first time, most of you who have seen this series and you've watched it since we began like 9 weeks ago, that's the name of this now. It's called Progress Report. I started this as a way to keep track of the metrics and the stats and the analytics for my album, the Nomadic Deluxe, because I'm doing a waterfall release, which means that every Friday I'm dropping one new song from the album until the whole project is out. And the project is over 17 tracks long, so 17 weeks in a row we're dropping new music every single Friday. I wanted to keep track of all the metrics and see how it impacts my following, how it impacts how many streams I'm getting, how many monthly listeners I'm getting, and things like that. So that's why we decided to keep track of it. Now, over time, as things have gone, you guys seem to be getting more and more into it. I seem to be getting more views about this, and more people are interested about the numbers and the analytics, which is great because I'm also interested in it. And I've been pretty, happy with how things have been going so far, and I really want to continue this. So I thought, what about after the 17 weeks is done? What's going to happen once the album's out? Am I just going to stop tracking the analytics? And I said to myself, no, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off with this album, see how it goes, and then once the album is out, I'm going to continue to do these progress reports and report back to you guys how my following is going and how the numbers are changing when I take time off releasing music, when I'm still releasing music, and how content is going to drive more traffic to the catalog even after the release and the rollout is done. So that's why I've decided to rebrand it, give it this new name, Progress Report. Plus, it kind of sounds like, when people are on a mission and they're like, hey, Progress Report, and, that sort of thing. So anyway, that's what we're doing. I'm going to keep this one short and simple today. We are in week 9. In the past week, I've released Be Like That, which is a song featuring As One, produced by Mungry Made, and that's been going crazy on the streams. I put up a post yesterday about how everyone's kind of been reacting to it and really enjoying it and leaving comments on my posts and everything like that. So shout out to everybody who's running that up, and I'll let you guys know about how things have changed in the past week or so. But yeah, make sure you keep checking that out. It's on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all the major ones. YouTube's going crazy at the moment, so thank you to everyone who's watching it there. But also, like I said before, if you guys have no idea who I am, why you guys are watching this, I'm Nomad222. I'm a rapper, I'm a hip-hop artist, I make music, I produce events, I make content and things like that. I'm also a father to 4 beautiful kids. I live in Naarm, Melbourne, Australia. My parents are Modi and Samoan. Modi on my dad's side, Samoan on my mom's side. And I'm actually meant to be going to Aotearoa tonight. I'm flying out and landing in Auckland in the morning. And yeah, that's pretty much my life at the moment. Let me get into this. So let's start off where we always start off, our Spotify monthly listeners, and reminding you guys that our target is 4 million monthly listeners, and we started this journey with 51 monthly listeners. Now, we've had a pretty solid track record over the past 8 weeks, the first 8 weeks of this journey. So we managed to go from 51 Spotify monthly listeners to 442, and I'm sad to report this week that we have witnessed our first dip in the monthly listeners category. We are now at 434. So I don't know who dropped off in the past week, but why? Why'd you do us like that? Where'd you guys go? Please come back. Please come back and listen to our songs. We've got more songs on the way. We're only in week 9, 17 weeks total, and we're trying to get to 4 million monthly. So if you guys are watching this for the first time, please go check out our songs on Spotify. Get your friends, your family to listen to it, because 4 million is a while away, but I know we can get there if we come together as a unit and do this together. So anyway, that's our monthly listeners. Unfortunately, we've had a dip this week, but we'll get back to it. Progress is a long and arduous journey, but we'll get there in the end. Anyway, Spotify total streams. Again, we started this with 5,632 streams total, and now we are sitting at 8,681 streams, which is incredible. Thank you to everybody who's listening to it. That's 300 more than last week, which is crazy. Really appreciate that. Spotify followers, we are at 188 followers, which is 2 more than last week. Solid, aiming for 10,000. Spotify playlist ads. Now, this was the biggest jump in the past week. Shout out to everybody who did this in the past week. 100 new playlist ads. So last week we were at 368. Now we're at 468. Crazy to me. If we can get to 1,000, that's insane. But we'll see how it goes. 468 is still incredible to me. And to think about it, we started at 280 playlist ads. So yes, shout out to everybody. I know I put some content out there that was like, if you guys could please do all these call to actions for me, please do this, subscribe to this, add this to this, and all of that. So to hear you guys listening to me and you guys buying into the journey with me, I really, really do appreciate it, and it means the world. Like I said, so Apple Music, we have trouble with Apple Music. No one's really using Apple Music. Spotify is the king at the moment for streaming platforms. But Apple Music, we still have we've dropped down to 2. Last week we were at 3 and we managed that for a couple of weeks. But now we're back to 2. So shout out to the other person that's not me streaming on Apple Music, because I use Apple Music. But, that's all good. Thank you to you. And our total streams are still at 7,800. That's all good. Instagram followers. We've lost 3 followers in the past week. We were at 4,046. Now we're at 4,043. And again, we started at 4,111, and we had that issue with the bots. We had to get rid of the bots, and we had to get rid of the fans that weren't really fans, that were just kind of hanging around for the journey. That's all good. All right. Again, this is a filtering process. We're going to put out the content that we want to put out. We want to attract the people that are like us, and the people that aren't like us, they can go. That's cool. Go find what you do enjoy. If you don't enjoy us, cool. You don't have to be here for this. We're going to stay here. We're going to rock, and we're going to do what we can. So 4,043 is where we're at. Our goal is 10,000 across all social platforms. So that's all good. Our engagement rate did dip on Instagram in the past week, which was a bit weird to me. But we went from 3.09% to 2.9% in engagement rate. That's fine. All good. It is what it is. TikTok followers. We have gained over 10 followers. So we were at 5,283 last week, and now we're at 5,297. TikTok just continues to steadily increase week after week. So shout out to everybody who's finding us and discovering us on TikTok. Really, really do appreciate it. And one thing that I did in this past week, so I did make 2 changes to the analytics here. So I decided that since I've had to change the way that we list our engagement rate on Instagram, I've decided to follow that same metric, that same calculation, so that we can accurately get a similar engagement rate percentage on TikTok and YouTube, which means that we're going to look at all the interactions. We're going to figure out what the percentage of interactions is compared to the views, right? So how many views do we get on Instagram versus how many likes, comments, shares do we get on each of these platforms? So and then we get our percentage from that, right? So on TikTok, our percentage with this new system is 4.54%, which is okay. I wish, if you guys come across my posts, please leave a like or a comment or share it. Whatever you want to do. You guys can do all 3 if you want to, or just one of the 3. That's all good. But please make sure you're interacting with the content and not just viewing it. And if you are and you guys go, that's cool too. That's all good. Anyway, YouTube subscribers. We have hit 480 subscribers. We are 20 subscribers away from having 500 subscribers, which is the number that we need to be able to monetize the channel. But ideally, I want to be able to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's probably unrealistic, seeing as we got 2 more months left in the year. But I really want to make that happen. You know what I mean? So 480, if we can get to 1,000 by the end of the year, that's cool. Otherwise, that's going to be a 2025 goal. Ultimately, I want that play button. I want a play button that I can hang up in this garage somewhere, in this office, in this studio, somewhere that I can hang that up and be like, hey, we did that as a community. We made that happen. Sorry, I thought my door was about to slam. But anyway, YouTube engagement rate. This is something that we haven't done in the past 8 weeks. This is the first week that we're doing this. But we have hit 5.1% engagement rate on YouTube. Out of the 3 platforms where we're calculating engagement rate, that is the highest engagement rate that we've gotten so far. So thank you to everybody who's been watching our shorts. I think I just hit the highest amount of views on a short that I've had since I started posting the YouTube shorts. So if you end up watching this through a short, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. for finding us on YouTube, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. All right, every subscription helps and makes a difference, and we're trying to build a community of like-minded individuals. All right, this is our community. We are the nomads, we are the movers, we are the ones that push the needle, and that's what we're doing here. So that's the analytics for this week. I'm pretty happy about it. We are way past the halfway mark for this release plan. I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks left until the end of this project. And like I said, we've rebranded this series to be called Progress Report. The first 17 weeks of this series are dedicated strictly to the Nomadic album release, which is why you'll see that each one is marked the Nomadic Part 1, Part 2. This will be Part 9. But thank you again to everybody who's watching from the beginning. If you jumped on since week 2 and week 3 and all the other weeks, then I really do appreciate that too. And I hope you guys go back and watch that content too. I'm going to be releasing a bunch of new songs next week. And listen, I'm going to do this as a one-time thing, all right? If you guys are seeing this video, whether this is a clip made for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever, or you're watching this right now, I want you to comment below on whatever platform you're on, and I want you to say sneak peek. And if you say sneak peek, I'm going to send you a playlist that is going to expire in a week's time. But that playlist is going to be a SoundCloud playlist with all the songs that we're planning to release next year. All right. All the songs that are in the works, including rough demos, including unfinished songs, including the finished songs. All the songs that are scheduled to release next year and that are in the works are going to be in this playlist, and you can listen to it until the end of the week. All right. And if someone wants to leak it, that's up to you. That's your prerogative. I don't really mind. All right. But it's going to be a sneak peek. All you got to do is comment sneak peek. All right. Comment sneak peek below. I'll send you guys a link. And yeah, you guys can listen to it as just a sign of appreciation on behalf of myself, on behalf of Levi as well. But that is what I wanted to let you guys know. All right. The final thing that I want to mention is that I did announce that we've just started a campaign on the Australian Cultural Fund, which is a fundraising campaign so that Levi and myself can raise enough funds so that we can go to New Zealand for our tour next year. So as you guys know, we signed on to a tour with Bridging the Music because they're doing these mini festivals all around the world. And artists have a chance to sign up to shows in different states and territories and countries. And I personally wanted to perform in Christchurch, Auckland, Perth, and Sydney because I've never performed outside of Melbourne before. And I really saw this as an opportunity to go over there because I've always had this belief in myself that if I can just get in front of people and I can show you what I can do, I can get on the mic and I can show you how well I can rap, how well I can perform, then I can make you a fan of mine, that I can bring you onto my team, and that I'll be able to capture your mind that way, right? That kind of sounds a little bit nefarious now that I say it like that. But what I mean is that, you guys hear what I can do, you guys see what I'm trying to build, and then you instantly become a part of my community. That's the way that it's worked before, and I've always felt that way about my performances. So that's why I wanted to go to these 4 towns and make it happen. The problem with that tour is that they don't cover flights and accommodation, all right? Because they're already covering, liaising with the venues and organizing these mini festivals, and they got to run the whole festival themselves with the venues, yada, yada, yada. They got their plate full. So it's up to the artists to handle flights and accommodation, or, the smart thing would be to sign on to a town that you can make it to. Like, I could probably drive up to Sydney and make that thing happen. I could probably drive to Perth, and that's a bit of a long drive, but it's better than, paying for flights and things like that. Whereas Christchurch and Auckland, that's the main thing for me and Levi, is we want to be able to go over there. We want to make this happen. We don't want to pull out of the tour. We don't want to, We've announced it. We said that we're going on tour. We're trying to make it happen. And so we are trying to raise $5,000. That was kind of a long-winded explanation of it all. But if you want to watch the proper explanation, you can. It's called ACF Campaign, Nomad222, Nomad222 versus the world. But yeah, if you can donate, if you're a viewer, all we're asking for is like $2. If everybody could just donate $2, then that would be massive. That would make a huge change in our trajectory in making this happen. And the cool thing about the ACF campaign is that every donation over $2 is tax deductible. So you can claim it back on tax and all of that stuff. It's all good. If you can't donate, please share it around. Find that fundraising announcement video, share it around. Make sure that if you know anybody who can, even businesses, if businesses are willing to make a corporate donation and maybe pay back a little bit more, you can get it back on tax. But please, this is our plea to you. I'm gonna keep pushing this. We've got 90 days to make this happen. Otherwise, we're gonna have to pull out of the tour, and you know, that cancellation fee is gonna come out of pocket, all of that. I really don't want that to happen, but please, if we can make it happen together, I promise you we'll do something dope when I get back. All right, when we get back next year after the tour, we'll come back to Melbourne. We'll do something really cool. Anyway, thank you again for watching this. Really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, share it around, all that good stuff. And remember that together we move.